Welcome everybody back to the Ohgawd Invitationals. We are back for series number 2. For those of you that do not know, I am Lash or Lash the caster, and with me, familiar face here, Zero Fight. How you feeling?
John, pretty good. We had a long first series, but it's an exciting one for sure. And I'm even more excited to get into the second match of the day. Ready and ramped up. Should be an exciting one.
Oh yeah, and speaking of the next map up, we have Return of the Syntinels versus Uchihearts. Going on a gonna be an absolute banger here with these two teams. We do have map picks and bans up and ready to go, and we're gonna be taking a look at those right here in a second. I come on, Zero. Just kind of give me like, how are you feeling? Like, how's the atmosphere right now? Like, I know there were some technical issues. I mean, I was watching the stream. There was some stuff going on, but overall, how's the atmosphere? How's the competition feeling here?
I mean, I think it was pretty good. The first map, I can't lie, just gonna be honest, bit of a blowout. But the last two maps, especially Split and then Ascent, they were pretty back and forth, pretty competitive. It was an exciting series to watch, for sure. I think getting to see like Split and Bind are always great watches. Ascent, I can't say the same about, but I do think I don't I don't think we're going to be seeing probably the exact same maps, maybe one or two, but I definitely am pretty excited to get into the next series and see where we're going. Maybe even a Pearl. I know that just came back into the map pool alongside Split. I I think there's a lot of options that you can do with Pearl. I mean, we were seeing today at the Red Bull home ground event, a lot of teams going towards that with like the Neon and then like the KO Azoba, as well as
It's
back in the Sin
deadly, yeah.
City. There was a lot of Deadlock, and then even earlier today for the Challengers North America Stage 3, there was teams running, I think MXS was running an Astra and an Omen with a Deadlock, so I think
Yeah,
if we get a Pearl, I'd be super down for that because there's so many cool ideas and approaches that you can take to the map, and especially in
I've
like a
been
pug
missing
setting
Pearl.
like this. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I've
so
been
many
missing Pearl,
ways.
man. It was one of my favorite maps. You know, it was taken out of the map pool, and then extra garbage has just been thrown in its place. So I'm glad to see the rotation, and I am so glad to see that Fracture is back in the in the map rotation. It's very controversial with the 4 lanes, but as a breach main myself, I mean, yeah, I gotta love it.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I actually forgot to introduce a couple people real quick. We have our observers here, Ace and Zebra, 2 people that are very incredible at what they do. So we thank them for supplying us with the tools we
Yes.
can to yap here for you all today. And I think we're actually ready to hop into let's hop into these map picks and bans here. Like you said, Pearl, Return of the Syntinels are going to end up being on the attacking side of Pearl for the first map here, hopping into Agents, as we're actually going to be hopping into Agent Select. These teams are wanting to get at it. They are wanting to get going as soon
Yeah.
as they possibly can, and honestly, I do not blame them. Um,
But
Kind
yeah,
of moving
quick.
across quickly, Sunset is going to be the second map, followed up by the decider being Ascent.
Mhm.
But we'll be getting into those a little bit later as these 2 teams are wanting to hop into Agent Select.
Yeah, and we will
Um,
be getting Pearl for this first map, like we were kind of alluding to. So I'm really excited. I mean, Sunset as a follow up as well. Two
oh yeah,
maps that I really love. I think Sunset can be a bit controversial with that B main spam, but still lots of cool things to do. But getting into this agent select flash, I mean, a little bit of diverging approaches. I really like this double controller coming out from the Uchihearts.
yeah. I mean, looking at the return of the Sentinels here, Clockeracy going on Fade, a typical pick, a great initiator. One thing that I am seeing left out is initiating flashes, but I think that's where Gail Lewis on the Yoru is going to be coming in. Synthix, team captain, running up on Jet, going to be opening up a lot of those tight angles. Raynell, an amazing analyst running controller. I've played with Raynell before in game, an absolute monster on Astra. I cannot wait to see who's going to be pulling that one. What they're going to be able to pull out of that. KBB Cutie once again picking up that Sentinel role. It's so good to see so many familiar faces and so many familiar names coming out, returning for the Invitational here, and Mew going to be on the Sentinel side as well for return of the Syntinels. I mean, what do you think of these team comps here, Zero?
I mean, it's a bit of a dichotomy as far as it goes. I mean, one side you have the double controller, single initiator. The other side you have that double duelist. I think Yoru, I mean Pearl, is definitely one of Yoru's best maps. A lot of great TPs that you can set up to dive deep into like B side, or back of B side, excuse me, as well as some disgusting flashes. And look at this KJ setup. But we are going to be quickly going over towards this art, getting set up for an A split.
Yeah, it is going to be a rough push up here as all of the rotates are coming in from Uchihearts, and ultimately I think return of the Syntinels realizes that there is way too much fire in front of them and might just have to back off, working the map a little bit more, breaking a lot of that Killjoy utility. A lot of that passive map control is going to be crucial in a lot of these rounds here, Zero, because if you work the map, destroy that Killjoy utility, especially that alarm bot, it does not recharge like the turret does. It's that passive map control. You get rid of that, it's gone forever. So it really raises some question marks, and ultimately going to be able to find a pick onto DJing and opening up that site as the trade is going to come back from Sadly. KBBQ is going to try and pick it up, but on the drop, Mew and Sadly get trades back and forth. Once again, evening it up 3-3. Raynell going to be opening up the site here as Synthix is going to be trying to pick this up. Those jet smokes are not going to be enough time to make much happen, but Horde and Raynell are not giving up. They find the last 2 headshots needed as they take round 1.
The great retake coming out from the defenders there. I mean, kind of just grabbing control of Art and kind of just dominating, and a wonderful pistol round picked up for the defenders. I mean, that's exactly what you want to be seeing. I mean, try to build up that economy early online, and I'm kind of interested to see. I didn't think we saw a lot of regenerative shields being brought out in the last series, and I think it's a lot more powerful than a lot of these teams are giving it credit for, especially on these early rounds with like anti-ecos. If you can save the armor into the 3rd round, maybe even 4th, it's so much money you're able to save. Only a few players on it, sadly, with an opener as well.
Yeah, is going to be finding some value there very early on, and DJing has to back off, allow for that regen shield to come through, putting him back up to 45. Beautiful shot, beautiful reaction there by Sadly. Is going to bring them heavily up in the player advantage, and man, it is going to be a tough take for Mew, Gale Lewis, and Clockersy to pull this one out, especially with Heart rocking the Outlaw here. Yep, there it is. There it is. Heart goes farming. Heart goes farming. Oh, just an inch away. A hair's distance might have been the difference between life and death there, having to get the jump spots out. Raynell sees the TP, knows it's possible. Is Gale Lewis going to take it? Does, and isn't allowed enough time, and Hart gets away once again, nearly unscathed. Raynell is inching up, wants to go for some blood here, wants to find another kill. Will they find it? No, but puts Mew dangerously low on HP. Even the slightest breeze will blow them down, but it's not over till it's over. It is just a battle of spam at this point as Dizzy sends out. Mew is blind, and KBB Cutie is going to be able to find it with that stinger, being able to save 4 light guns going into their bonus. It is not going to be easy for Return of the Syntinels here. With just the amount of spam skill, the spam and skill coming out of Uchiheart here.
Yeah, and I want to point out, I mean, sadly able to pick up those initial 2 kills. Thrash, I mean, you want to be farming that ultimate online and trying to cycle it as quickly and as often as possible. So a great person to pick up those frags. But we were talking about the regenerative armor. Heart was knocked down to 17 HP. but now he still has armor into this round. I mean, HP obviously resets, but now 2,400 credits could potentially even buy an op into the next if they win.
Yeah, it could be absolutely devastating, but against all odds, Synthix is going to be able to get that first pick out. Sadly, just basically eating that to try and get that Molly down is going to do a little bit of chip damage, but ultimately is not going to be winning any heads today. Right now, once again, noticing the gate crash, but not wanting to be given away too much there. Ends up breaking it, so Synthix finds one more to prey on.
Some good openers from the team captain.
It is going to be a rough retake here if they're going to be able to accomplish anything. They need to be going for picks here right now. Able to find Gale Lewis taking one gun away, but Clocracy is shutting that down just as fast and able to follow it up onto Sadly as well. It is going to be a toughie.
Yeah, that was a great opener from Synthix, or from Sin, excuse me, though. And as well, Clocracy able to get that Nightfall online. I mean, it's only round 4. If they're able to commit this and start getting these rounds on the board, I mean, tie it back up to 2-2, maybe even get the lead, I think they would be able to put themselves in a really great spot. I mean, with this double duelist, you want to be getting as many of those attacking rounds as possible, especially with, I mean, I know they changed Be Long, but it's still so powerful, that B-Man spam.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It could be absolutely devastating for the defense to try and deal with it, but ultimately, without a lot of smokes, and especially without a harbor, it becomes really difficult to like bum rush in, blitz attack, get the spike down, and retreat without suffering heavy casualties. Especially since players know how to play around it and they know not to give up that space. As the first ultimate is going to be coming out, it's the Nightfall from Clocracy to deafen all those on site, trying to back everybody up. KBB Cutie, although, is going to be able to find one. Heart following it up and shutting down this blitz, but Synthix has something to say about it. Taking down the opposing Jet. 5 HP in the tank, but 25 shield. Recharging up is going to be enough to do some damage. But ultimately not enough to find another kill. As Raynelf once again is able to clean up. DJing. Finding Aegis as well, and the last one to fall, Mew, gives the third round to Uchiheart. And man, that is not looking good for the return of the Syntinels economy there, but Bladestorm is online.
Yeah, investing that Nightfall as well and not really being able to get anything off of it. You were talking about the lack of ability to kind of blitz onto that B site without that harbor, without that Viper. And I think you're 100% right. I still think though that there is, especially with the Astra, how many stars you have now since the buff, there still is that great strategy of just being able to play back. And while I do like them having a few players committed towards that back site, I want to see maybe 1-2 players fall back and play that more spam style. But like you were saying, they do have the Bladestorm into this. A few weapons. Gale Lewis the only one on a Stinger. So some danger is still in the rounds for Return of the Syntinels. Can't count them out just yet.
But I like what they're doing here. They left the spike back in their spawn, like for easy access. Should they need to rotate, and they're working parts of the map. They're sending out utility. They're clearing out others. They're able to break the Killjoy alarm bot and create a lot of question marks, especially in mid. They don't want to be pushing up too far and get caught out in a crossfire in streets. I think it's a great play here. They're working the map. They're pushing and prodding, and they're pushing so many question marks out, and DJN might end up getting run over here by Synthix.
Yeah, he's in a tricky spot. All by himself on site.
Without the right weapons there, it could be devastating with Gale Lewis. That Stinger, so unpredictable, and sadly as well, they worked the map so well, and they're trying to capitalize, but the right click just does not land. DJ able to get away with one. Clocracy and Aegis, the last one's left. The clock is ticking. DJ and finds a Clocracy. Aegis, last one left alive, able to find one. Are they going to be able to find a second? Hey, I have no idea that somebody's defusing the spike. Able to find 2 more, make that 3 more. On for the 4K. Are they going to be able to find? Sadly, they find the ace, but only after the defuse goes off. That is That is both devastating and very hype for Return of the Sentinels.
Yeah, kind of just complimentary ace there for Aegis, and it was good showing. A bit of confidence, maybe being able to be injected into their veins, but outside of that, it was a bit rough. I gotta admit, Lash. I mean, you saw the X's for the attackers there. Every death was isolated by themselves, not really fighting together. And especially when you maybe don't have all the weapons in your favor, you really want to be trying to go back to those fundamentals to fight together. But we're just going to be seeing a group up over towards this B site. It's just KBBQ to stall this out, but they really aren't going to be able to do much. Just some mollies
Yeah.
for delay, and it's going to be a retake.
Yeah, that's all they're going to be able to do. Trades do come out, but the Blade Storm from Heart is available here. It's online and ready to try and find some action. KBQT inching back up once again. Barely doesn't see Clock or C. But ultimately, the trade's going to come out from that regardless. 3v3 here. DJ knows Synthix is back there. Wants to get into a good firefight, but Aegis in the back is going to be able to find Heart. Synthix through the wall, man! Again? And Aegis finds one as well. Beautifully executed. Didn't expend a single ultimate there, and they were kind of on a thrifty. I'm not really sure how I would label that, but ultimately, Thrash Online, Lockdown, Cosmic Divide, and Dimensional Drift all can be used this round here, Zero.
Yeah, and I kind of touched on it there, but they kind of just gave up B-site for free. It was just 5 players running it down, no one there to stall it out. Sadly,
Yeah.
did get picked up when they were pushing through that middle position, but you can't really give that B-site up for total free. You have to at least hold it down just a little bit, put some commitment onto it, and now they're forced back on to an eco buy. But
Yeah, I mean, you can't give that site up like just for free like that. I mean, with how dangerous it is and how hard it is to retake, especially when they're able to group up long and play mostly for spam.
yeah,
You can't be giving up that site for free, and that's something we learned during like the 2021, 2022 like Masters Champions. It was showcased worldwide. You can't be giving it up, and you can't be giving up all this space to Synthix because he will put you down. The KBBQT having some hope there. Miguel Lewis with the shotgun. Man, one thing that a lot of the Oh God Kate event regulars may notice is the prevalency of that shotgun.
dude, these
And
judges.
the judges are they're just constantly everywhere, and I love it because not like, you know, some teams use it and they play around the judge as a play strategy. Here at Ohgawdevents, they just use
It's
it.
just a lifestyle. It's honestly like you know,
Yeah,
it's so good. I mean, you can use it. I mean, super often,
you
especially
have
on the
to.
Yoru.
Yeah,
Like,
you have to.
it's a
Okay,
stupid gun.
Raynell, what was that tracking?
Someone check his
Raynell,
PC.
yeah, someone check Raynell's PC.
But Lash, look at this again. It's the same thing. They are going to commit the lockdown into this, but we are going to see one returned back from KBBQ, and that was probably their idea from the start.
Yeah, they're
But I
just
don't-
trading lockdowns here. Love this top-down view. Big shout out to the observers. Beautiful shot there. And
But look
There,
at the
it
pivot
looks-
back towards this A site.
Oh my
Literally,
gosh,
no
look.
one's home.
they sent out the clone. It got detained by the lockdown because of the newest update with the clone. So it adds a lot of question marks. Like, is somebody still on B site?
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to clear these spaces out one by one. This is the smart move here. They're down in player advantage. They need to make a move here, and Clockeracy is going to be going out, making that happen, evening this up 3-3. Thrash gets expended on the ground, potentially not to be used again for the rest of this round, as Synthix is throwing down one after another, finding another victim, makes a third, tying the score up 4-4 going into round 9. What a beautiful trade from these teams.
Yeah, 2 3Ks back to back for Synthix. And I want to make note that was a 3v5 for the Syntinels. And being able to flip that on its head, I mean, sadly, even committed the Thrash there, wasn't able to find any value off of it. I mean, Clockeracy able to pick up 2 into Link was the turning point on the round. And props to them for clawing back at it. Now tied 4-4 into this round. A rough buy. They aren't really on the same page. I mean, we're seeing some forced down to rifles, others with just stingers.
Yeah, it's
Are
a
gonna
real
commit.
broken buy here.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they got some confidence to go in and handle it. So we're just gonna have to see how that works out for them in the long run here, as the Cosmic Divide is, I mean, it's cutting off a lot of their ability here. It's a beautiful sprays there by Mew. Ultimately, not a lot going to land, and I feel like there's a better way to go through that molly, but to each their own. Heart going in. Oh my gosh, the dizzy, or the mosh pit. Not going to be a fun one to deal with, and especially with Synthix on the other side. Almost able to find another victim, but Raynell shuts that down. Viper's Pit coming out. Gale Lewis able to find it, shutting down DJ inside the Viper's Pit, and ultimately opening up the round to have a little bit more to do. It's Raynell, last one standing. Blind as a bat, trying to go in. Doesn't have much else that they can do. Trying to find a gun, trying to find a kill, but ultimately Mew's ready for the spam. Too much utility to deal with, as the Syntinels will take the lead coming in around 10.
4 consecutive rounds for the attackers here. Timeout finally being called. I was about to say I want to see one being pulled out here. And Lash, I think, I mean, in my opinion, the adjustment that needs to be made is we're seeing this double controller comp, but we're not really leaning into what it's really good at. I mean, you have the Viper, you have the Killjoy, and you have all that Asher utility. What it's really good at on this defense is stalling. You want to set that Viper wall over towards that B site, set the Viper up, maybe with a Killjoy molly. You have the Viper molly as well, the Snake Bite to delay and vulnerable. You have so much delay utility over towards that B site, and then you maybe stack heavier towards mid with the turret and A site with your jet having an op or something like that, something along those lines. It's kind of just disoriented, and I think they're just getting abused on that B site for how weak they're actually looking to support it. Because I mean, Sentinels are just running over that B site right now.
Yeah, I mean, they are not afraid to go in and just crash in hard, and we're seeing a lot of space being made by both Gale Lewis and Synthix. I mean, they're just pushing right past the... I don't like to say half-hearted attempts at stalling, but ultimately they need to be comboing more abilities like Raynell and DJ and KBB Cutie. They are built for stopping pushes, and they just need to start using their utility in tandem to try and stop those pushes right when they happen, because they're getting confused, they're backing up, and they're trying to play a little bit safer, but ultimately you have the utility to stall, so you can take a couple risks. You can push and prod a little bit, knowing you could drop utility and be able to back off. You can't be sitting stagnant. You can't be staying in one place and waiting for them to come to you, because you're going to get overrun.
Yeah, and even if they are, I will say, even if they're only able to get 4 here, hopefully, I mean, maybe even 5 or 6, that is a pretty good defense half. We were talking about it earlier, how good that B main post plant still can be, and it shows itself in the win rates. But Heart here,
and there's the first contact being taken. DJ is going to find Gale Lewis, shutting down the judge for the round, but Heart falls as well.
getting a bit aggressive.
Yeah, it's just kind of started to... It's gone to a stalemate here because they don't know what they're running into on A, but look at how quickly everybody from Uchiheart immediately rotated over, and look how fast those feet are moving. They're all rotating back and forth. If Return of the Syntinels decided to rotate back around, they'd have to rotate once again. They don't have anybody anchoring, and it's just devastating. Clocracy barely able to dodge that mosh pit there. Raynell trying to find a pick up from on top of Jenny here, jumping down. It was the worst thing to do, right into the killer, right into Synthix. Able to find another 3K. What are they feeding this guy?
I don't know. I mean, 16-5 for Synthix. I mean, that is probably your immortal Valorant player right in the server, showing
in the flesh, skills. In the jet. But I mean, honestly, I think it's about the same thing that that Dr. Noel is fueled on while holding the judge. And you know, Zero, if you tune in tomorrow, you're gonna see the master at work. I don't think there was a single round in the Sunshine Cup previous where Dr. Knoll did not use a judge, or a
You love to
shorty or
see
some
it.
sort of shock. It's character building.
Exactly. Yeah,
Break
yeah.
break them down so you can build them up stronger. And I think that's exactly what we're going to be seeing
Speaking
out
of
of Gale
shotguns,
Lewis.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
TP's out. Doesn't want to deal with
TP'd out.
DJ.
Yeah, DJ backing up just a little too quick. Little too close for comfort there. Ultimately wanted to play it safe, play with the team, because they already have the site. Now they just kind of have to hold on to it and wait for them to get pushed into as the trades are coming out from KBB Cutie and Synthix. It's gonna be an absolute clash here as Raynell's trying to push forward. Entry controller, and it's gonna pay off. Gale Lewis taking it to with them as well, bringing it down to a 2v2. Cosmic Divide is gonna go out here. And Little Man almost going to be able to get onto that spike, but ultimately that gravel is going to have other plans, sadly. Trying to just hold it. Are they going to be able to? Do they know that they're holding it? It's holding it. Come on, Synthix. That Cosmic Divide, I'm not sure if it muted it or not. Could you tell, Zero?
I think it did. I think the way it was positioned was just able to nook herself right in between the Cosmic Divide and the actual plant position, so she wasn't able to be spammed there. That's going to be a 5th round for Uchihearts, and I want to make note, Clockeracy secretly, sure, bottom of the scoreboard for their team, but they have been farming up these ultimate orbs. They're on their 3rd Nightfall of the half. Such an impactful ultimate for the attackers here, and if they can commit it once again over towards this A site, they might be set up for success. They are going to be doing it, just kind of throwing a little bit of a fake, but as we
It's not
see,
going to scan anybody.
yeah,
It's not going to scan DJ, just barely out of it, and I'm surprised at the reaction here. They dropped the Nightfall, but oh my gosh, the conditioning there. They knew exactly that Uchiheart was going to do hard rotate. Synthix Spidey senses go off? What was that?
yeah, maybe his team was just calling him back a little bit, not wanting to overcommit into that site. But I thought they were going to just kind of pounce on the B site once those rotations went away, but I don't think they were aware of it.
I'm wondering what the call was, what the read was that made him back off of there. KBB Cutie taking a little bit of contact there. Clockeracy drawing a lot of that attention away. And look what they're doing again. They're causing question marks. They're poking and prodding. But look, finally, it's time for Uchiheart to adapt off of this.
Their head is on a swivel.
Yeah, they're finally not rotating off of first contact. Never mind. There's the rotates coming through. Clockeracy throws off that haunt, and now Raynell's back running once again, rotating back and forth, 15 seconds left, finally getting the spike down. And it's just going to be a standstill here for a moment.
But I want to make note, look at this wrap from Synthix as well through Arts.
It could be absolutely devastating. Hart trying to poke and prod, trying to get a cheeky pick here and there before poking out, before trying to rush in as fast as possible. Is Hart going to be ready for it? Double take, had to find it. Clockeracy is going to find that kill, able to find a 3rd for the round. And now, sadly, last one left, standing at 1v4. Last round of the half. Can they pull it out? The stun is just too much, and that's a 4K for Clockeracy.
I mentioned them being the bottom frag. Turn around. In one round.
That's called the caster curse, Zero. It's called the caster curse.
Doing a phenomenal job to pick up 4 in that round and bringing them up to a 7-5 lead. Switching over to the defense. And to be honest, Lash, the calling there, I'm not sure who is IGLing for the Sentinel or Return of the Sentinels team, but they're doing a great job. The mid rounds on that 12th round there was phenomenal. The way they were pushing and pulling those rotates eventually, and then even the layers of Synthix wrapping around into water. Phenomenal stuff. But swapping over to this attack side for Uchihearts, this is where I will be interested to see, okay, how do they implement this Viper? And what is their strategy? Do they really try to focus over towards this B site, or maybe do a bit more of a mid?
I'm just mainly wondering, with how much oh my gosh, Synthix.
What is
Synthix,
that?
Somehow, I have
That's
X-ray vision,
nope.
and somehow Synthix still catches me off guard. Still surprises me at times. Which doesn't happen often. But that was a nasty shot and a great opening to the second pistol round here. And we're seeing more as Clawcracy finds a midair head shot onto Raynell. Anyway, as I was saying, honestly, with the amount of rotating coming out from Return of the Syntinels, I am surprised that they're not packing a Neon on their team.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're hitting shots as much as Synthix is, like I think he's probably it might be more of like a comfort pick, and you can see why he seems damn comfortable on the roll for sure. So, and that is gonna be a clean round for the Sentinels, picking up that pistol and putting them up to an 8th flash. And I gotta
Yeah,
say, I
not
mean,
only clean, but it was flawless.
yeah, it was looking real nice out there. Maybe some, maybe get some vac checking over on Synthix PC. But I gotta say, quick note: this Viper Wall, I'm not a fan of it. I really think the power from the Viper that you get on the attack side is more conditioning. You want to set that wall to kind of block vision over towards long rather than use it as a traditional smoke. A lot of the power from the Viper comes from the conditioning that it allows you to have with just like forcing a player to stick around constantly. So I'll be interested to see if they make those adjustments. And it shows an all-out brawl into art. They are able to pick up that first, but
Finally using that controller utility to stall, and Mew's going to be good for 2 more. Sadly, is going to shut that down, bring it to a 3v3 here. Guns have been traded. Heart has a Guardian, sadly has a Spectre. It's a light rifle and submachine gun and pistol versus identical ones of each other. Spike is going to go down as Gale Lewis finds 2, and the spray is just not there from Sadly. Going to be taking it. The Return of the Syntinels is going to be taking that round as well, bringing 3 of their guns into the bonus, as well as the regen and light shield. Now, okay. So Zero, I haven't really played that much with the brand new regen shields. Do they recharge in between rounds,
yeah.
or is
Well,
it just?
it's so if you have 50 shield in reserve, 25 shield as base, it doesn't recharge the reserve, but you are able to carry over however much. So if you recharge 25 throughout the rounds, you're able to carry the extra
remaining
25 in
25
reserve,
into the next.
to the next. Which, like I was saying, I mean, it's insane value to be able to on these anti-eco rounds actually be able to build up your economy and kind of start snowballing. So
Yeah, I mean, it's just
oh my god.
Synthix. Again, man? Come on. Somebody wants to get some dinner and wants to go to bed. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, and I can see why. I mean, surely not.
And,
Okay.
Oh, surely not. Yeah. That if that happened, there surely would have to be something we'd have to check out there. But right now, wanting to push up. Aegis able to shut down one, but sadly was just able to pick that one up off the back. Gate crash coming through. Raynell coming up on the back end. Still has full health, still has full shield. Tap after tap, peek after peek. Are they aware that Mew is going to be behind there? Is it going to be behind Jen? Which one is it going to be? The
Clawcracy with the
is
wrap as
on
well.
on the flank. This could be devastating here. Gale Lewis ready for that flash. Is KBB Cutie in right now, ready for it. KBB Cutie is going to fall right now. Last one standing here, able to find one. Smoked off. Dividing these out into the 1v1s. This could be a crucial divide here. Able to see Mew over in streets. 5 bullets left. Faking the reload to try and break it out. A beautiful shot onto Clawcracy. One bullet. Oh, heard a step after the plant. Mew knows. But how much does Mew know? And it's going to be enough. Ready for the push. And that pushes Return of the Syntinels into the double digits.
It was so tragic there. Every weapon, it seemed like, had no bullets in it. And, I mean, Mew was only so low as well. So that one bullet, I mean, even to the chest would have done it, but not able to connect. The bonus round being converted and the timeout being called for Team Uchihearts. I mean, it is a 5-round deficit so far. They're nowhere near out of this quite yet, but it's looking pretty good. I mean, Gale Lewis with that Dimensional Drift online, only 2 away from the lockdown from you. So some powerful tools coming online pretty soon.
Yeah, and with Synthix only 3 ultimate points away from that from the Blade Storm with the operator in hand. I mean, honestly, Synthix with an operator, I mean, almost guaranteed to have Blade Storm at the end of the round.
Yeah, and I was talking about the op on or how powerful it can be on that defense. If you can get your jet posted on one of those deep lines, I mean, pushed up onto B long, on screens, or even over towards that A site. I mean, you're just able to feed that information to your team and assist in those rotates to help flood it back on to site once the plant is coming down. And I think we've seen how excellent the communication and mid rounding already is for Return of the Sentinels. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that value come out here. He does swap it out for an outlaw, which I do like.
Now, I'm a fan of the Outlaw, and it is a great counter as well to those regen shields. I like how they didn't make it just barely possible with the regen shields to outdo the Outlaw there, but Hart is going to be able to find first blood onto Gale Lewis there. Mew going to be clapping back, able to find Hart, but there is a judge right there. It's chasing Mew down, and there's not much that they're going to be able to do about it with only 8 HP remaining there. Little man, is he going to be able to get that plant down? He is going to try. As Mew is finally able to get that regen on those shields and try and get a little bit of health to be able to take a single point of damage there, as Aegis is going to be grouping up. So they're going to be going into this retake in a bit of a deficit there. 3v4 Thrash is online for Sadly, should they choose to use it. Not sure if they will, but maybe they'll be able to get that off before Sadly loses their life. KBB Cutie is going to shut down Clocracy in the back. And oh my gosh, the recycle of the gun, it's just devastating here. And Aegis, last one standing. Might have to go for picks, might have to save. Not really sure what the thought process is going to be here, but ultimately I think they're just going to have to go for picks.
Yeah, any damage would be great to do to Return of the Sentinels, but he's not going to go for it. I don't even think they're going to be able to save that gun into the next.
Beautiful round
but
there
surely.
for Uchihearts.
Yeah, closing that gap. Only
Clean,
4 rounds separating the teams now. And some huge ultimates online as well for both sides. I'm looking at this Thrash on Sadly to really help Uchihearts get into this. Maybe, I think, yeah, we are grouping up to, it's looking like an arch split. I really think this is where that Gecko can show itself and prove itself to be super useful as you kind of just overwhelm any player sitting there. But Synthix, is anything to say about it?
Well, if anyone's gonna say something about it, it's going to be Synthix, and Thrash is gonna be going for some blood there, able to scan one out, able to find a kill there. Mew falls, Hard going in, not stopping for anything except for Synthix, but ultimately they are gonna get overpowered by the spam weapons, as anybody else would, and Hard is immediately wanting to get that rotate, gonna try and take that just little bit of time that they've gathered to try and work the map a little bit more, but not really sure what the end game plan is here, but Clocracy is all the way in their spawn. They've got the pinch here on A site, but what is the move going to be?
They go back over towards A, get behind Gale Lewis. This would be huge. But he's aware of the potential. Doesn't spot them out, so they are going to be headed over towards that P site. But this TP.
Oh no. They don't camp
Surely
the
he
gate
doesn't
crash,
commit
do
it.
they?
Okay.
Makes
I was
the
about to
gate crash.
say that.
That was about to be crazy, Zero.
Yeah, if he
I've seen too many. I've seen too many fall to that.
Yeah, and Plant is going to come down here. Hart is 1 away from that Blade Storm. I don't assume they'll pop it, but 4 HP, 25 shield in that reserve, and Gale Lewis decides to commit this Dimensional Drift, and they could ping out these players, and it would be great information for Clocracy to come in and clean up.
One bullet through the wall here would take Hart out of the game, but Hart is ready for it. 3K to the dome. Dimensional Drift. Now the last one standing here. Oh, blind as a bat, and Hart falls. Gate crash comes out as well, but are they aware of where KBB Cutie is? Is there going to be enough time to take care of the lurking Sentinel? And be able to get that diffuse off. I'm not sure. I think the dimensional drift might have taken too much time. Gale Lewis unsure of where they are and unable to stick. This KBB Cutie is going to find that final kill. A lot of economy damage done to Uchihearts here, but I mean, there's not a lot you can do in that situation, Zero.
Yeah, definitely not. And I mean, a great post plant from KBB Cutie. I mean, just patient, just waiting their turn to peek, stall out, and they knew what they needed to do, and they did it well. And now pretty close to that lockdown as well, only 2 away. And this operator finally being pulled out from Synthix, being posted up over towards this long position, but no one's going to be peeking him, at least for the current while. As sadly, Dizzy's over towards this B main, just trying to farm up these ultimate orbs.
Yeah, and honestly, that's the smart move to do. They want to be farming as many of these ultimates as they can, because on Pearl, having those big, like, wide range, and especially those the detaining ultimates, Thrash and Lockdown, are just so oppressive. And especially the Nightfall as well, able to scan, deafen, decay, is just super powerful. And they want to be able to cycle through those as fast as possible, sadly. The little guy, Wingman, able to get that plant off. And I'm not sure if playing for spam back here is going to be the right play, because they do have that lockdown available to try and clear it out, try and clear enough space to get the diffuse off. And Mew is going in fast and hard. What the heck? Popping that lockdown right after that amazing display of marksmanship, sadly, is going to find Synthix trying to equalize that score down now to a 4v3, but Mew, no, buddy. Fell to the molly. It's tragic, and the stick is going to come through from Gale Lewis, finding return to the Syntinels, their 11th round. And right now, not going to be able to find a kill, but is going to get out with their life.
And Mew being able to pick up those 2 huge frags into Art. I mean, disgusting display of mechanics. And then popping that lockdown, like you said. And 2 players being detained there, not what you exactly want to see. And I mean, after that lockdown comes down, it's pretty hard to get back into that one, to be fair. But
yeah,
still,
I mean, especially when you're not. See, that's what I was talking about on that. Not sure if playing that like play back in main and in flower and play for spam. That's not the play you want to be doing when you're staring down the barrel of a lockdown.
yeah.
Especially in that post plan position, when there's more players on the defense that are alive. You have to be taking more space. You have to be controlling the map around the spike plant, and ultimately they failed to do so, and the results, they speak for themselves.
Yeah, pushing into Art. I mean, there's a lot, or pushing into Pit as well. A lot of great options that you can do. To see the adjustment can be made here, but
Synthix
yeah,
is
look
not
where Synthix
sitting
is.
still. All
He's
the way
pushing
in there,
all the way around.
Are-
And that Fade Eye got the info that Raynell is here. He had to break that. So in Synthix, how aware is Raynell? I don't think he's gonna notice this.
I don't know. There's the gun barrel, and there's Synthix.
That's your smoke's gone.
Picking up that gun. They still have the Viper online. Lockdown about to be popped. 1 player detained. I'm pretty sure that was just the Yoru clone. And oh, nope, it was Gale Lewis. Ended up getting caught out. Mew's going to get 2 back, though, keeping the player advantage in their favor. And wanting to go for more blood there. The Seeker goes out. Synthix goes up and then falls. Mew able to find a 3rd for the round. Haunt going out. It's up to KBB Cutie here with the Stinger. Stun comes out. It might be too much, and isn't it? Clockeracy quite in time, putting Nightfall online. And once again, Mew's just farming up those ultimate points. Already 4 away from another lockdown, but it is match point for return of the Syntinels, as Synthix is once again picking up an op. 21-11 here, Zero.
I mean, doing great work. I mean, overall. I mean, that through,
crushing.
You saw those pings coming out from the attackers there, and they're noticing that he was able to push all the way through, and that's what I'm talking about with that Viper wall. If you're doing this just straight vertical wall that's being done for the past, I mean, however many rounds at this point, you're not able to consistently apply that pressure over towards long. And once again, Synthinx is just pushing up. I mean, why not? He was able to do it last round, and he's able to do it this round for free with an operator. And soon
Yeah,
these rotates will be going over towards this A site, and
you can't be giving away all that space for free. You have to use some of that Sentinel utility there, but sadly is going to find the opening pick onto Gale Lewis, potentially opening up the round to allow them to bring it back. Is Mew ready for it, able to find one, needing to back off, doesn't want to allow for the retrade on there. Heart is going for it. Mew tries to go for the pick, realizes it might have bit off a little bit more than they can chew here as they're about to peek into a 1v2, but KBB Cutie able to find their head. And Thrash on site is going to be clearing out so much space. They realize nobody's here on A site. Synthinx needs to move up, needs to get some of this space back. Needs to close in and try and choke them out just a little bit here. So many ultimates can be used here. Never mind. Synthinx puts down that Cosmic Divide.
he gets a second.
Gets that? What
A third!
That too? And Clockersy is able to close that out. Kate, what are you feeding this guy?
I mean, I'm speechless, Lash. I was looking at that round, and I was about to say, I mean, Synthinx, he needs to get one here for this to be doable. And then he gets 3 in art with the up of all guns. I mean, an insane round to close out their map pick of Pearl 13-7, dominating fashion for sure. And I mean, Synthinx, we talked about them all game, 24-11, 7 first bloods. That's a disgusting stat line, just plain and simple.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ohgawd Invitational. We are on day 1, series 2. Once again, I am Lash or Lash the Caster, and with me in the den is Zero Fight. How are you feeling after that last match?
Dude, I'm ramped up. I know it's been a long day for me and the rest of production crew and everyone here, but I mean, after a map like that on Pearl, I mean, I can't be anything but excited. I mean, a 13-7 victory for Return of the Syntinels and a star player performance from Synthinx. We were glazing them probably way too much earlier, but I mean, it's kind of warranted at this point.
I don't know about way. I don't know about way too much. I mean, we all saw the clip at the end there.
It was some disgusting work.
He told me in the Twitch chat during the first series that he was going to be laying some heat. I said, "Don't worry, we'll give you some clips," and definitely delivered there. And you know, in the break, we were talking with the rest of the production crew. And we were basically saying that if he doesn't donate, then he's gonna stop getting glaze. But either way, kind of going back onto this, like you said, coming out strong victory, 13-7 against Uchiheart. But we are going on to Uchiheart's map pick, which is Sunset. We'll take a quick look at those map picks once again, if we have the budget for that. But yeah, I believe that Return of the Syntinels is going to be on the attacking side of Sunset here. Yep, there we go. Once again, seeing these map picks and bans. It looks like Return of the Syntinels is going to end up being on the attacking side of Sunset, which means Uchiheart is going to be on the defending side of their map pick. And I think they're a more defensive, like, oriented team anyway. I think a lot of these players like to play in the more defensive format. So I think ultimately it works out for them just a little bit better to be starting out on the defense. But I mean, what do you think, Zero?
I mean, we saw like I was saying earlier, I love the comp diversity on Pearl. But going over to Sunset, there was a lot of comp diversity, but since the Neon meta came out, it's kind of a lot of the same old. So I will be excited to see if we get to see some Neon picks from both teams. But yeah, I'm excited to get into Sunset to see kind of what Uchihearts has cooked up, because we haven't seen Sunset today in the lineups. And like you were saying, I think they are more defense sided. We were seeing the success that they had on a lot of those defensive rotational calls, as well as, I mean, you can say the same for both teams, to be honest. I think it was true for both teams. But if they're able to get a solid start, I mean, 6 rounds, 7 rounds on that defensive side for Team Uchihearts, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna be seeing it go out to that third map, but I mean, can't think about that quite yet. Still have to focus on the presence and yeah.
Yeah, and before we hop into the agent select here in a second, make sure that everybody in chat is using the exclamation point plus the team name to cheer on their favorite team, as well as hop in and do those channel point predictions. Hop in and gamble, put it all on red. You got to make sure to participate in the chat. We love to see you guys cheering each other on. Love the community and just overall. I haven't put in my prediction for this match because I want to try and stay unbiased as possible. But yeah, I think we're about ready to hop into the match here. If the players are ready to go. Once again, hopping out on Sunset. And I liked what you said earlier, like the neon meta that's been really taking over. Um, I'm really a fan of a lot of these, like, especially the Ohgawd, like, Kate communities, like this community in particular. They switch up metas all the time. They play some of the most goofy comps that I've seen, and somehow they work out super well. And it's always super creative, and I can't wait to see what they pull out here on Sunset. Oh, and Raynell's immediately hovering me and locking me on. All right, thank you, Raynell, for making me eat my words. You make me do it when you're my co-caster, and you make me do it while you're playing. So I appreciate that, buddy. but Zero, what do you think of the Instalock team comps that are coming out right now?
Well, to be honest, I hope we don't see an instalock from this Return of the Sentinels team. But on the other side, I think this comp's pretty good. I mean, it's double duelist. It's pretty nothing too crazy with the Sova as well. I don't think you need it as much. I prefer the Fade, but I still think there's a lot of great utility to take advantage of the shock darts to break those cipher trips, as well as uh, the Hunter's Fury can come in really clutch. But moving over towards the other side for Return of the Sentinels, it's more of that Gecko. If Aegis hovering that Reyna as well, and Synthix, the star player on Pearl, actually kind of maybe not taking a backseat, but as far as roles go, or when you typically think of roles, I mean, on that Cypher instead. So be interested to see if he continues to frag. And yeah, that's going to be locked in for both sides. And I don't know, the Reyna, we were seeing Aegis being able to pick up a lot of frags as well and have some impact. So they'll need to continue on that. I mean, to really get that impact, because outside of being able to get kills, I don't think Reyna is that great of a choice. But if you're able to click heads, who cares?
Well, I might have to disagree with you here, Zero, because like what I've been seeing a lot recently is the pairing of Gecko and Reyna, because they're able to throw out two breakable flashes, but you throw the Leer out and you throw Dizzy out. You either shoot, run, and get blinded by the like you shoot Dizzy and you can't see. Well, really, if you look towards the flash, you can either shoot the Reyna eye and get blinded by Dizzy, or you can look away from the Reyna eye and still get blinded by Dizzy. So like there's the double shot flashes that are very just powerful overall.
It can get
really,
a lot of value
especially
for sure.
yeah, but they have to be timed well, and there has to be good cohesiveness as a single unit in these 5-person rushes. And I think that might be what we're going to see out of Clockeracy and Return of the Syntinels here.
Yeah,
as they're inching their way up, throwing those smokes out, and oh my gosh, it's a bum rush down elbow here. It is gonna be a fun one. This KBBQ is just waiting in the smoke, trying to gain some action there, and that pain shells is not very friendly for KBBQ, but ultimately gonna be able to find a pick. As Clockeracy falls, DJ trying to pick it up one after another. That's gonna end up causing a lot of chaos in the back. Raynell on Neon, unable to slide away. Synthix finding their first pick of the map here. Mew put down to very low HP. Sadly is trying to push in as well. Oh my goodness, saved by the bell. And Sadly is going in for more pick me up. Active Mew falls. And last one alive, DJ. Oh no, Synthix! Synthix!
Oh my.
You forget. I always play high stakes.
Cypher, Killjoy, it doesn't
Synthix-
matter.
Sid thinks as many things, but when he says he's gonna give us some clips, he doesn't lie. He's not a liar. He's many things, but he's not a liar.
Yeah, and I mean,
It's just nasty, dude.
a great start. I mean, he was getting so many 3Ks in the last map, and he's already continuing it. And that is a pistol for the attackers here. Love to see it being built up early. Those regen shields, once again, coming out to show. And Renell, shorty in hand,
Going in
but
fast, yeah. Throwing that shorty out. Oh, that is not gonna be fun. Oh, I could have sworn that paint shells was going to get Raynell there, but Synthix ready with that Vandal. Raynell is not maybe ready for what is about to come. Ultimately, having to pick up that pistol and back off, try and play with the rest of the team, trying to do some damage. Sadly, is going to end up finding some value there. Clockeracy trading it back. It's a bit of a chaotic round here with Raynell just trying to inch up with a shorty. Oh my gosh, KBB Cutie, no! Unable to shut down Synthix, but Raynell with the distraction is able to make it happen. 20 HP remaining. Aegis finds DJ as well, and closing it off onto Raynell. Not the cleanest anti-eco round, but effective nonetheless.
yeah, and they weren't really. I mean, they were able to carry through a couple of weapons there, and only gonna have to buy maybe a sheriff or two. But again, those regen shields, I keep talking about it, but it is so important to be able to help out the economy on these earlier rounds. But I want to see this defensive setup for Team Uchihearts. The Cypher is going over towards that A site, and we know since the changes to that B site, you can't have that one-way, or the unbreakable trip, excuse me. So maybe just trying to find other ways to capitalize off of that utility. An early peak from right now, just getting that info, but
Yeah, I really like what Riot's been doing, getting rid of a lot of those God trips, because, you know, in all fairness, you know, those trips were meant to be able to place in a lot of places, and, you know, an unintended side effect was that there's going to be some weird placements that are not going to be able to be broken, and ultimately are just unfair to the balance, and I like what Riot's doing about it, and Clockeracy just going in, taking so much free space on A site there that it almost seems unfair. And yeah, I mean, they just own A site now. I mean, not really much else to say, as the little guy's going to be able to get that plant down. And Raynell and the rest of Uchi, and, you know, and well, actually, it's just DJ as well, going to try and pick up the pieces here. As the mosh pit comes in, going to be able to scan two out, getting some span through there. Raynell is going to find one in the back. Can they find another? Synthix finding DJ. Raynell trying to find it, but Clockeracy finds the third. And closing out that third round, they take it 3-0, saving 3 of their Vandals going into the next. That was a beautiful... Is this their bonus? Is this...
yeah, I mean, they converted that bonus. And Lash, I mean, 2 maps now in a row, Clockeracy has had their ultimate online at round 3. I mean, I don't know what... I mean, just farming up these ultimate orbs.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if they're able to commit this showstopper, I mean, that is such a powerful ultimate to be able to break open these sites. I wouldn't even mind it being committed here, just to really... like,
just to set the tone, you know,
yeah,
set the
exactly.
pace.
And
Yeah, you
just
know,
get the momentum rolling even more.
Absolutely. You know, as a resident Kansan, I can say that Clockeracy is a certified farmer getting that in there, but ultimately gonna miss that ult, but it created a lot of space. Got a kill. Already got one more point towards another showstopper. And sadly, is just waiting for the rotates to come in to try and place down some utility, to try and gain some space back here. And it was a great play there by Clockeracy to go up there into market and take that space. Mew able to find Heart in the back. Synthix doubling up with Clockeracy as Raynell's going in with that overdrive. Super impressive, super good for taking space there, and it's going to be crucial. But the flash comes in. Can Gail Lewis find the pick? It's going to be one after another, but ultimately Synthix and Gail Lewis are going to prevail once again, putting both of their ultimates online, Neural Theft and Thrash. It is going to be a rough one for Uchihearts going into round 5.
It definitely is, and we were talking about, I mean, the Cypher Unbreakable Trips were kind of removed, which was, I would say, was one of the issues of that B site, but the power of actually getting the bomb down over towards B, and then the post plant is still so strong to be able to hold down. I mean, you have so many options. You can plant in that new corner now that we saw Sentinels do that round. You can still do the spam. So many powerful options for the attackers. And we're going to be seeing this group up over towards the A site. KBBK here to receive it alongside Sadly.
Yeah, creating a lot of pressure there on B, and I'm not sure it's, you know, I'm liking the discipline out of Uchihearts. They're not immediately rotating all the way around like they were on that on Pearl. They're a lot more comfortable in their positions. They're holding tight. They know what they need to be doing here, and oh my gosh, Synthix.
Yeah,
Just
but look
trolling
at
with
this
the camera there.
a little bit. And Raynell actually purchased the glass cannon operator into this, and they're about to hit contact.
Yeah, immediately taking that. Really, really close. Clockeracy falls and backing up, and they're like, yep, don't want to peek into that. Do not want a stray shot coming from Raynell in my direction. Backing off, going to try and rework the map here. Sadly, not ready for Aegis. Beautiful timing there.
Deja vu.
Evening up those odds.
30 seconds left.
Taking the player advantage back. Heart is ready for it. Ready to send that peek out, and there's the little guy just right around the corner. It is going to be a tough one here, and ultimately the spike is not going to go down. Neural theft coming out from Synthix as Aegis finds Raynell as well. Heart trying to fight for their life here, able to find Aegis. Now it's down to a 1v2 as Gale Lewis is trying to get that plant down, able to find it, and Synthix from the back is going to punish. Gotta check your corners, guys. Gotta check your corners as we go into round 6. 0-5. Return of the Sentinels up.
Yeah, dominant early performance for Return of the Sentinels, and I was even liking what Raynell was showing there. Yeah, timeout being called from DJ, but I thought they had a pretty good setup there. The op was posted down A. I think with these neon comps, you can allow yourself to get that A line and then kind of just rotate over, have more of like a 1-3-1 or a 2-2-1 setup with over towards A, and it allows you to more flexibly control those rotates. But once time started getting low, I think the defenders were just a bit uneasy, and then Aegis twice now has been able to walk up towards that middle position and get a kill over towards Boba. I mean, kind of opening the rounds in both round 3 and 5 now. And yeah, the timeout, there needs to be an adjustment. And I don't know. I think I like the early round plays. I like the mid rounds. I just need to see a little bit more calmness and trust in their ideas, I think, going into the rest of this half. I mean, plenty of Valorant left to play. It's definitely not over anywhere near.
Yeah, like I'm really liking their ideas, and they have great discipline, you know, in not over rotating and not over committing to different areas. But ultimately, I think they just need to get a little bit of their, you know, a little bit more of their team play to mesh together just a little bit well. And you know, it's expected. Just the first day of the tournament, you know, some of these teams, some of these players didn't get that much time to work with each other. I know Return of the Sentinels. I mean, they had quite a couple scrims. They had a lot of time to figure out like what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, and
yeah,
I think it's definitely working out in their favor there. Clockeracy immediately put down to 50 HP.
And there's still some threat into this round. I mean, Clockeracy, or excuse me, Heart with the showstopper. So if they can get a pick, they might be tempted to commit it. Try to finally put themselves on the board.
Absolutely, and you know, everybody in the chat, Uchiheart, your fans of Uchiheart, your team needs you. Drop the, you know, exclamation point Uchiheart. You got to do it. Cheer your team on. Spam these darts through Uchihearts. Everybody in the chat, get that hype going. As contact's finally being taken here, Raynell in the back and put down to about half HP. Thrash got committed. Stun came out. Timer almost up. Ended up having to back off from there, behind there, and Raynell is going to find the first pick. Aegis finding one in the back as well. Showstopper committed, isn't going to find any value. Raynell able to find Synthix in the back as well. Trades going back and forth, trying to find it, and for the first time in a minute here, Uchihearts have the upper hand. Only 12 seconds left in the round. DJ is 1 HP. Raynell able to find a third for the round. Is going to be enough time? No, there's not, and Mew falls as well. Uchihearts in the chat. That's exactly what you like to see, everybody. And they are
Raynell.
on the board.
Yeah,
Raynell going crazy, as
he'll
always,
pick up
on that
3
neon.
in that round as well. I mean, Razal not able to get anything, but doesn't matter whenever you're just able to frag your way out of any situation. And now, sadly, with that not dead yet, DJ 1 away from that Hunter's Fury. So a couple good tools to be able to start building some momentum and clawing back at this round deficit. Focusing over towards this middle position, just breaking the store early to put pressure over towards this market split.
Yeah, it is going to be a bit of a brawl. There's so much pressure coming in. And Mew falls first, but the not dead yet is coming in clutch here. Going to try and find a pick in the back. Spray is coming through. 66 HP remaining. It's just spray on spray, and right now the shots just can't land. Able to find Syntinels, but is going to get taken down as Mew falls for the second time this round, and it's immediately a 2v4. Once again, DJ trying to go in, trying to find another thing, but Ray just shuts that down, and it's a team ace from Uchihearts. And that's the second round in a row. Come on, chat. Let's hear it from Uchihearts. Is it comeback season? Is it comeback season, Zero?
I think it might be not even any ults having to be committed into that one. Operator, once again, the idea is being toyed with. It is going to be pulled out for Rain. If they can get that posted online, like I was talking about, that deep A line to allow those rotates to come through and just be a little more free, could be crucial win condition for the defenders in these next few rounds. But there's still some danger. Clockersy, Aegis, and Gale Lewis all with rifles in hands. Not sure why they didn't want to lend some over to their fellow teammates, but maybe just...
Maybe miscommunication there. Not really
Yeah.
sure. Oh my gosh, Aegis. Right now,
Cares about
you are getting lit up in the chat for that one. I'm so sorry, buddy. But ultimately, Return of the Syntinels is going to be taking an immense approach here. But DJ, the beautiful shots in the back, going to be able to find it. Syntinels traded out for the Operator is not going to be able to find DJ. Gale Lewis finishes that one off. Oh my gosh, Clockersy might have the timing here, but I think they know. I think they know. I think KBB Cutie has the read.
Yeah, this trip here, though, is going to be so difficult, even if, just
You
decide to break it.
gotta go in quick for that one, and Mew was not ready for her to go in that quick either. It's a 3v2 here, sadly blinded out, still trying to do some damage, and it's a collateral from Sadly.
That's
Opening
it.
up the round, 2v1. And Clockersy falls as well. Beautiful shots from Sadly are putting them on the board once again. Third round in a row. Uchihearts in the chat. It's comeback season.
Yeah, the spray down collateral from Sadly on top of the plant, not being in a great spot. Not a lot of factors going right for the attackers there. And the op was able to be saved over and brought into this next round. Actually going to be seeing it posted over towards this B main area. Few players here to receive it.
Op could be deadly, and the leg shot is going to register as the body onto Mew, potentially. I'm not really
Yeah,
sure.
they're just not ready.
Just really wasn't ready. She probably should have jump peeked that angle there. Right now, nasty with that Operator. Aegis is going for blood too, and Raynell's good for a second.
And
Immediately
another
bringing them
dry
up
peek, though.
5-3. Yeah, those dry peaks, you can't be doing that. They're getting sloppy. Sloppier and sloppier. DJ finds two. Gale Lewis is going to be able to deny the flawless. But can they do much more? Only 8 HP remains. And only time will tell. Able to find one more, and a beautiful paint shell from Hart is going to close out this round, keeping 3 alive.
Great job
Oh
there.
my gosh.
And to be honest, I mean, Raynell isn't even doing anything like super crazy. And I think, like you were talking about earlier, the reason I was worried about this Reyna is because I wasn't really expecting a lot of coordination coming out between them and Gale Lewis for those flashes. But even if that coordination isn't there, we need to be seeing something. Like even just one of those pieces of utility, one of the flashes can push Raynell off of that line. They don't have anyone there to support them. So maybe an adjustment coming through there We saw the Dizzy Flash, but right now, as we know, posted over towards A, but
Oh,
quick entry.
Clockeracy! Somehow not gonna land. KBB is gonna be trading that out. Thrash gonna land. Gonna be putting a massive giving sadly a bit of a heart attack there with that detain as the little guy is going for the plant. It's gonna fail, and Gale Lewis falls as well as Raynell's overdrive takes out Mew, following up onto A, just trying to flick around, but Synthix is ready for it, able to find one, not able to find the second. KBB finds it, and almost another flawless round, tying it up 5-5. 5 rounds in a row, 5 rounds in a row. Absolutely nuts, and it looks like a long-awaited timeout is due and is going to get called by Mew. I mean, Zero, what do you think they're talking about? They went from just clobbering 5 in a row with nearly zero opposition to losing 5 in a row. What do you think changed?
To be honest, I think they just, I mean, the side of Team Uchihearts just started picking up some of those frags. Like I said earlier, I was liking the ideas behind the defenders, those rotates coming out, the operator as well. They just weren't able to convert the rounds. It just was a little sticky situations, and now they are going in their favor. 5 rounds in a row, like you said. But Return of the Sentinels, we do need to see a bit of a switch up. I liked the change there to flash a bit more and get the operator off of those lines, but maybe play with it a little bit more, just default heavier, start farming up some of those orbs. I mean, you don't really, I don't think you're going to see another like impactful ultimate in this half, so I guess you can't really go alongside that, but I don't know, maybe just early A aggression I think would be great, because like I was saying, with this operator being able to get on these lines early can be pretty difficult to actually have effective rotations for the attackers, but both sides just sitting passively over towards A, maybe expecting aggression from the defense, but Clockeracy farming up those ultimate orbs, trying to see what they can do just in case.
Yeah, just kind of poking and prodding. They're swapping it up. They're not 5-man rushing anymore. Wanting to get a little bit more information before going straight into a pick here, especially on their lighter buy, but Clockeracy is going to be able to find the first pick onto Raynell, immediately prompting some switch ups, but Hart is following it up big, dropping an Aegis and Mew from the round as well, bringing the player advantage back up in Uchihearts' favor, 4-3. The Not Dead Yet and Showstopper are online for Hart, and sadly, are they going to be used? I'm not sure, but KBB Cutie is going to be denied the rest of this round. And oh, Synthix is barely trying to dodge that hollow drone there. Paint shells going to end up making it a very difficult time for Synthix, trying to bring it in. DJ ready for it, and there's that Showstopper coming in, and Hart's going to fall, denying the Showstopper. But DJ's going to get the trade regardless. And oh my gosh, Clockeracy's on for... And it's a thrifty... I'm sorry, hold on. I got to clarify. Like, that was... I don't believe that was an ace. But ultimately, that's a 5K from Clockeracy.
And
like,
on the back of... I was disgusting.
It kind of caught me off guard, Zero. Like, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere. I mean... Clockeracy was able to pick up the first onto Raynell, a sheriff versus an operator. I mean, you're not saying the sheriff's favored in that one for sure, but able to pick it up, then able to pick up the second on a KBBQD. I mean, just doing God's work to convert that rounds. And
I mean, a lot of it really comes down to confidence here. I mean,
I think it does.
And you know, having trust in your team there, and Hart a little bit scared there, needing to back off. Synthix is going to take down KBB Cutie.
That's once again the Cypher going down.
Oh, and Raynell again with the operator in mid is going to back off, having to rotate over to B site as there is a very large gap in the defense here.
Yeah, they're relying on those. They were relying on those Cypher trips for Het. The bomb's just gonna come down here.
Yeah, Wingman gonna be able to plant. getting Gale Lewis 1 point closer towards that Thrash once again, which was recently updated to 8 points, and oh, just not ready for it. Dry peeking every corner, and Synthix is going to punish as the Neural Theft scanning them out as well. Showstopper coming through, delaying the push, but Raynell and DJ getting their own. Ultimately, DJ is going to survive, but not for long as Cloxy finds their head with a beautiful shot. Off the blast pack, sadly, last one left alive in a 1v3. What are they going to be able to pull out here against Clockeracy? Nothing! And another beautiful multi from Clockeracy to bring them up going into the second half. Swapping Return of the Syntinels over to the defense. What are they going to be able to pull out?
And I mean, after that timeout, I didn't really know what they could do to get the momentum back on their side, but apparently the answer is just have Clockeracy drop a
Frag
5K
out.
into a 3K. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure, why not? But I mean, swapping sides over to that defense, I think they might struggle a little bit more.
Goes here.
They do have those double duelists, but you don't have the Sova. You don't have the Neon for those quick rotates. You're mainly relying on, I mean, your players to kind of frag out, and we were seeing Clockeracy and Synthix being able to do that. So if they can keep it up, I wouldn't be surprised if the Return of the Sentinels are able to close this out in a quick fashion.
Yeah, I would not be surprised at all. And those paint shells not slowing down Raynell for anything. It is just a brawl. Trades go back and forth, but ultimately it's going to even out. Raynell very, very low on HP, trying to get a little bit more chip damage before ultimately succumbing to the grave. 8 HP remaining. Mew finishes that off. Getting the pick-me-up, bringing it up to 150 HP, and a beautiful right-click onto KBB and sadly, why can the
thought they
Classic
nerfed
not
that.
do that? Yeah, I was going to say, why can the Classic not do that for me? They did nerf that. They nerfed the running accuracy of the Classic by, I believe, 30%.
It was a good amount.
Yeah.
I mean, being able to pick up two
A
of
lot
those
better than
in a
what I'm
row,
seeing there. Come on, Mew. Why you got to make my, like,
Maybe
you
he's
do
just on the
that,
old
and then I
patch.
hop it. Maybe. Could be on the old patch, but I mean, you do, like, Mew does that, and then I hop into comp, and I right-click from point blank, and none of mine land. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair.
I feel like I'm in the same boat, but I mean, with that second, I mean, I think it's 3 or 4 pistol rounds going to the side of Return of the Sentinel. So dominating in that side, and whenever you're being able to pick up that many of the pistols, can be difficult for the opposing team to actually just get back into it. It's such an advantage for those attackers, or for the defenders, excuse me. And Outlaw in hands.
And is good
This
for
gun is
one.
broken.
Yeah,
I gotta say
I
it.
mean, it really is here on the on the anti-ecos. It really is broken. It's basically a guaranteed one shot because nobody's buying up full armor on the second round, especially if you lost. I mean, it's basically a guaranteed kill, but bringing an Outlaw into the bonus, although it can do great chip damage, it's not a guaranteed kill like it is in the anti-eco. It's not a long-term weapon that you really want to rely on bringing into each round one after another. So there are some drawbacks, but ultimately in an anti-eco, I mean, it's just nasty, especially with like 2 shots, one after another, 1 kill, 2 kill, back off, reload, and you know, repeat once again. And Gale Lewis. Oh, all right.
30 seconds left.
I'm sure Aegis and Raynell want us to not talk about that, and there's a flawless coming out as Mew finishes that out as well. Yeah, there's another 4 rounds in a row for Return of the Syntinels. I gotta see it. Zero. Do you think it's going to be another 5-5-5 situation?
It might. And to be honest, Lash, I was kind of trying to bring up that point of the Outlaw because look at this. I mean, 3 players on armor, I mean, regen armor or light armor.
Yeah,
While
they're
it isn't
done.
Raynell,
They're done.
it is, I mean, it's still such a powerful weapon. And if they're able to convert this round, I mean, they're once again going to be back on that half armor. Such a great weapon to try to build up those early round snowballs. Raynell wants nothing to do with it, just sending it all in towards this base site.
Yeah, it really isn't afraid. Really loving those 2 dashes there. But Gale Lewis is going to put an end to that. KBB Cutie picking up where they left off. Hart following it up as well, immediately bringing it down to a 42 here. It is not going to be a fun match for Aegis, but not giving up just yet. Able to take away yet again another gun as Clockeracy. Pistol in hand for these close range engagements here, but ultimately utility is going to be the name of the game and trying to bring this round back into fruition. Beautiful paint shows there, clearing that out, but Hart is going to be good for 3. Clearing those out, but they took 2 guns away from Uchihearts there. That is going to be some eco damage there and getting them a little bit scared, but ultimately it's now time for Return of the Syntinels to buy up as well.
Is indeed going to be seeing the first full rifle rounds on this second half from both sides, and Raynell is only going to be able to buy is going to end up swapping over to that Vandal. So full buys for all. DJ though with this Guardian. And Aegis just closing this door, but similar scenes.
Oh, Raynell a bit big for their britches on that one side there, as Clockeracy is going to put an end to that quick push in, not wanting to make the same mistake they did last time. On-the-fly adjustments are really everything, especially in these community tournaments. And Clockeracy is just ready to go for blood once again. Aladrone spotted out Gale Lewis there, but ultimately going to be able to find at least one before falling. Satchels being thrown out. Not sure what the use for him's going to be. And oh my god, combo could have been devastating. Sadly, able to find Gale Lewis. And Mew and KBB Cutie able to pick up each of their own. Clockeracy going for more, able to find Sadly. And now it's just KBB Cutie. Last one left alive here. Able to find Mew as the neural theft pops. 8 HP, waiting for that regen shield to come back through. Up to 33 HP. Spam's coming through. It is not going to be a fun time for KBB Cutie to bring this one back. Still has plenty of time, 35 seconds. But the double peek here might be devastating. Clockeracy so low on HP, cannot be doing these without the double peeks. And it's gonna, oh my gosh. It's just a wall between them. Synthix is gonna take that away, putting Return of the Syntinels into the double digits.
Give me a moment. I need to set back up.
And that wraparound from Aegis, I thought that was gonna be, I mean, once they were taken down, I thought maybe there was still a chance for Uchihearts, but able to get to those double digits for Return of the Sentinels. Timeout being called here. And while I thought last half there wasn't really many adjustments being made, or it needed to be made, I really want to see a bit of a swap up of pace. I like Raynell trying to be aggressive over towards the elbow position, but without a breach or a KO to set that Neon up, you really have to either commit your relay bolt into that position to gain elbow control, or it's so much harder without that initiator utility to kind of supplement and assist your Neon. You're kind of just running in, and Clockeracy kind of showed how easy it is to pick up those frags sometimes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I think I don't think Sova's the worst, like the wrong pick for this map, but I think that Gecko or Breach would be a much better play, because you have the Cypher utility, you have that like passive map control and info, and although Sova gives you a lot of info you can play off of, I mean this isn't Ascent, you know, there's not as many paper thin walls that you can just be shooting through. I mean, info is key, but you got to be able to set your players up for success, and especially running a Neon comp, you definitely want a Breach or at minimum a KO to be backing you. And there's Clockeracy. Yeah, taking it head on beautifully. But Raynell is going to get... Oh my gosh, the stun out from Hart, but Mew's going to fall regardless. Gale Lewis has to throw out that mosh pit to try and delay the push into elbow there. Synthix going to try and pick up the piece. Is lost. Able to find Raynell after Hart finds the third. And there's the second showstopper pulled on Synthix, and Hart's good for 4. Aegis dismissing away, now caught in a 1v2 situation, but sadly it's just a little bit too quick on the trigger, as they are denying the further encroachment into the double digits, bringing them to 7, and the overdrive and Not Dead Yet are online for Sadly and Raynell. But I mean, look, Aegis has the resurrection, or I'm sorry, has the Empress to be used.
Yeah,
and this round could get deadly.
There wasn't anything like super crazy coming out there. I mean, they were just able to pick up that initial kill onto Clockeracy, And from there, just snowball. I mean, Bucky Neon, we've seen it a million times do disgusting work, and now we're going to be seeing that Judge Neon. Again, same idea. Quick over towards this A site.
Oh god. Oh. Chat, can we clip that? Right now, going in with the overdrive is going to be able to open it up from Gale Lewis, and it is just an absolute brawl here. Synthix and Mew fall. It's just down to Clockracy. Bulldog in hand. Currently top fragging the lobby, but knows their limits and is not about to run blind into a 1v5.
Yeah, not at all. Just trying to play their life. I mean, they can take some weapons out of Uchihearts' hands. That'll be pretty nice, but other than that, you're going to have your ultimate online. You're going to have a buy into the next, and sadly, cleans up, and that's a flawless for Uchihearts, and that's exactly what you want to see. The money is booming now, and we really haven't even seen an adjustment being made. It's just that they're winning out these frags. Raynell going in, and the rest of their team, rather than Raynell just being by themselves, I guess that is the adjustment, is the rest of their team is following up behind them and super heavily committing alongside them to continue and clean up any frags that Raynell maybe wouldn't be able to get, but we've seen constant success. The adjustment from the defense, Cypher setting up over towards that A site now, but as we see,
It's going to be an
Uchihearts.
explosive round. I mean,
Yeah,
look at the ultimates online here. Showstopper, Neural Theft, Empress, and Thrash ready to be used by Return of the Syntinels. And Dizzy, beautiful Dizzy, able to find right now and prompting some pretty immense reactions there from Return of the Syntinels, and ultimately prompting a quick speed up on the exec onto B site here. But Clockracy is ready with the Showstopper, barely, narrowly missing KBB Cutie, and allowing just enough space to be made and just enough time to back off to get everybody rotated around here. But look at the placement from Raynell. Oh my gosh. Gale Lewis is in Thrash. I don't think they're going to notice Raynell in the back. Oh, the timing. Just barely able to find it. As the Neural Theft is coming through, they know someone's on the flank, and Gale Lewis is going to be able to take that one down. Synthix finding one, ends up getting taken down. The spam coming through. They got the spike to have. Mew's taking the defuse. Mew's taking the defuse. And the round is going to go to Return of the Syntinels. So many weapons lost, but round progress made, and they find another round on the board.
Yeah, but as well as those guns being lost, those ultimates were committed as well into that round victory.
Yeah, three
So a lot
ultimates were
of those
there.
tools, yeah, not in their pockets anymore. So the response would be devastating, putting them, I mean, they won that and then lose this, they'd be at 1-9 loss bonus, but just going back to good old faithful.
Lewis realizing Raynell's right there. Stun does go through. Recon bolt. Everyone knows exactly where Garrett Lewis is at. Stinger in hand. Has to play these close range angles here if they want to get that maximum value out of that short range weapon. Spotted out. KBB is going to find first blood onto there. Garrett Lewis able to find one. Raynell trading that one out hard on the back. Able to find Synthix, and A just falls right after. And it's just down to Mew to try and pick up some kills. Able to find, sadly, in the not dead yet. Ran it down as expected now. Stuck in a 1v4. Not sure what they can make happen other than do some economy damage here, but I mean, what do you think went wrong that round, Zero?
It was just kind of overran, and then the flank came through. The guns not being out. It was.
I think it was an eco diff.
Yeah, it really was at some point. I mean, Gale Lewis did good to get one there. A beautiful smoke from you as well, but like you said, a bit of an eco diff. DJ closing it out, and now only 2 rounds separating these teams, and we're talking about the ultimates. Gale Lewis is only 3 away, again, from that Thrash, so be something to look out for, but I need to see an adjustment come out still. I know it was an eco, but I want to see a fix. I like the flanks, but it's not really working. We need to see those rotates coming out a bit quicker to try to flood back into these sites and try to overwhelm, because once you get onto the site as Neon, it's so hard to actually hold it down. So you maybe play a bit more retake, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one here, but Synthix is ready for it. Wants to play those close range angles. Honestly, surprising on this playstyle, not trying to go for a judge play there. And right now, and DJ able to find the first bloods, first contact of the round, putting it into their advantage there. And there's the neural theft coming through. Synthix wants to peek out, wants to go before getting the timing. Is going to be able to find a kill to try and equalize up those numbers as close as they can. 3 to 4 retake here. They have control of market, but they need a little bit more space to be able to take this round back into their advantage, and that might have been the opening they need. Synthix able to find Sadly, evening it out 3 to 3, opening up onto the back of side, but Hart is just ready for that peek from Clockracy. As Wingman is going to start the defuse onto there, able to get it to at least half before that gets shut down. It's a 2v2, bringing it, or 1v2, sorry, bringing that down. It's going to get the last pick onto there, almost tying it up now. Both teams in double digits. It's coming down to the wire, Zero.
It's so close here, and I mean the map's kind of flipped there. 3 players in market, but just not able to really make anything of it. Now being forced back down onto that low buy. Sheriffs across the board. Gale Lewis with that stinger. We saw him do work with it earlier, but we are going to be grouping up towards that A site. Once again, they've loved to hit over towards this, but look, Lash, 4 players here to receive this. They need to win this round. Great start.
Now going for the opening, and Muse able to find 2 and popping the not dead yet. Not giving up an inch here as Heart's popping the showstopper. Drawing it out from Mew from that second life. Sadly knows that Synthix is there. And is going to be able to pick that up, giving them the player advantage once again, 3 to 2. They're all beelining it over for B site as the remaining players from Return of the Syntinels are gearing back up, trying to get some gun upgrades. Clockracy was able to find a Vandal going into this retake, and it is going to be a tough one here. Do they split up? Do they play together? How are they going to go about this? It looks like they're opting to play together, want to take over Boba before moving into getting on site there, and they know someone's close. They're going to be able to open it up, able to find 1, make that 2, down to a 1v1 here. KBB Cutie, last player standing here for Uchiheart. Clockracy, last player standing for Return of the Syntinels. Almost peeked out right there. I almost forgot that box existed. And oh my gosh, it's just the peeker's advantage from Clockracy is going to bring Return of the Syntinels to match map and series point.
The gun barrel peeking out there just did, I mean, disgusting work and gave away KBBQ's position. And yeah, Clockracy, we've been talking their name all map long. Now only 1 away from the showstopper, Lash. I mean, you have 2 chances to close out the map and the series right here and right now. This would be a great way to do it. Thrash as well for Gale Lewis. But they are getting set up. I mean, I like this positioning from Clockracy, but look, these rotates are so quickly being pulled over towards this A site. They're just expecting a fast hit. But as we see, I mean, Uchihearts gearing up to go over towards B, at least for now.
It is taking it so
way.
It's caught with the knife out and immediately speeding up that rotate there. B site is belonging to Uchiheart here, and it's now up to the remaining players of Return of the Syntinels like Clockracy to bring this match to a close right here, 4v4. As the door falls and everything is trying to get set into place. Both teams trying to hold their positions, trying to gain some more ground. And a beautiful showstopper, but it's not going to land. Hart and Raynell able to find their own, gaining the advantage here. Raynell wanting to go for more, wanting to go for as much as possible. It is good for 4. Keeping Uchiheart alive and giving them another chance at redemption to try and bring this match into overtime.
Get it out of the game. Get it out of the game. I cannot see another Neon ult like that. I mean, Raynell just popped the overdrive and just cleaned house. I mean, even falling down from the ledge there, picking up the kill. I mean,
Here.
it's so good. We're only one patch away, so we don't have to worry about it much. But I mean, those were those ultimate slash being committed into that retake. Now they just have Bulldogs, Stinger, Sheriff to try to close this out before overtime. Look at this pushdown. I love this from Syntinels.
Yeah, you're not liking the economy that they have in Return of the Syntinels, but I am liking the plays here. It is going to be an absolute crash in here. Oh my gosh, Synthix. He's waiting for him. Knows that a couple are on site here. Oh,
Camera taken out.
very aware. Able to find one. Able to find two, Synthix. What the heck, man? Able to find two.
Way.
Picking up the round. Could close it out right here with a thrifty. 5v3 Return to the Syntinels. Able to convert some of those weapons. Trade going out one after another, and it's just down to one player alive, sadly. Last one standing. They fall. They have to use the not dead yet. Is there going to be enough time? And no, there's not. Return of the Syntinels will be taking the series. 11-13. A beautiful match. Beautiful shots, beautiful plays by both teams, but ultimately only one can stand victorious. And Return of the Syntinels will carry that crown today.